Famcast Media, bitch.
I swear, some of these Christians just don't understand the irony. Good evening, demons and demonesses. Once again, I am back and I'm slightly made up, just eyeliner today. But the story I wanted to tell you about was sent to me by, one of my co-hosts, D. Rotten from the Dungeon Podcast. If you guys aren't following him, check out his stuff. He posts a lot of great things. He's practically going live like almost every couple days now, so definitely check out From the Dungeon Podcast. He's also been invited on, I think, the Lucky 13 podcasts, which is hosted at the Lucky 13 Saloon in Brooklyn, New York City. So definitely check that out. If you guys are in the Brooklyn area, they always have shows going on at Lucky 13. Also, if you guys still haven't done so already, check out Pentagon Approved by KK Reaper. He just hit 2,000 views so far, and it's been, I think, about a week since it released. So yeah, check out the music video. Like I said, he invited me in on some of the action, and I had fun doing it. This was my first time actually, doing a music video with someone. Actually, this is the first time an artist really ever invited me to, be involved in a music video shoot. So, like I said, I had fun doing it, and, KK Reaper and his crew, they're really wholesome people. I love hanging out with them. And, I hope to get involved in whatever other future projects they have. And if music videos aren't your thing, it's also streaming on all platforms, so definitely check them out. You're gonna love it. Now, this story comes out of Pennsylvania, which is literally like the next state over from where I'm at. Well, just recently, the school district in Saucon Valley just decided to approve of an after-school club. Now, the name of this club is called After School Satan. Now, some of you guys might have heard of this. After School Satan is run by the Satanic Temple. Now, to clarify a few things, the Satanic Temple is not the same as the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan was founded in 1966 by Anton LaVey, and after his death, it's now being run by Magus Peter Gilmore. The Satanic Temple, I think they were founded much, much later. I think recently. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to look that up and, add a little bit of corrections. So just to interject, they've been around since 2012. So basically, since I've graduated high school, that's how long they've been around, which is like 11 years. I swear they've really made an impact in these past 11 years. I will say that. Very impressive. But they're currently headed by a guy named Lucian Greaves. You see, the Satanic Temple pretty much came as a response to, a lot of the fundamentalist Christianity that you see, popping up all around the country. And whenever, Christians, try to step out of line or, force their view somewhere, the Satanic Temple is always there, to push back against that. Now, some Satanists, like a lot of LaVeyan Satanists say that they disagree with, what the Satanic Temple is doing. People often confuse the Satanic Temple with, the Church of Satan, despite them being two different organizations with, two different beliefs. The Church of Satan doesn't often get involved in politics at all, and to be honest, I think that's the way it should be. Religion and politics are two things that just simply don't go well together. It's like, they just don't, I'm sorry, it's like mixing bleach and ammonia. But I think the Satanic Temple is, a necessary adversary. Especially when you have so many, conservative Christians, just trying to force their religion down other people's throat. And, I have to give, the Satanic Temple a round of applause, because what they're doing is they're pointing out a lot of the hypocrisy that a lot of conservative Christians have. Now, I'm going to play a news clip of the reaction to, what's going on over in Pennsylvania. I got a little bit to say about this.
those are the options.
Marjolie Cologne tells us she couldn't believe it when she heard After School Satan Club had been approved at Saucon Valley Middle School.
And I thought that it was satire. I thought that it was a joke.
But we talked with the national campaign director at the Satanic Temple. She says it's anything but a joke.
We are ran by the Satanic Temple, and we are, the club is brought to you by your local friendly, self-identified, non-theistic Satanists.
June Everett says the Satanic Temple doesn't believe in the same Satan that Christians do.
Although the Christian majority in this country does believe that Satan is a different symbol to us, we do not view Satan as evil. We do not view Satan as trying to, wreak havoc on communities and do terrible things. We look to Satan as a positive symbol.
But for Cologne, pentagrams and demons are not positive symbols. She already has her 3 children in private school, but she's worried for other parents.
There are so many parents who cannot make the same choice that I'm making. And if we don't speak up for this type of outlandish disregard to those of us who do have Judeo-Christian values, then when is it going to stop?
Cologne is planning a prayer event outside the school on March 8th, the same day the club is first supposed to meet. There are already more than 100 people signed up on Facebook, but the superintendent said in a letter to parents, quote, "The district has approved the after-school Satan Club," and Everett says the community should learn to accept it.
We don't have to agree. We don't have to believe the same, but we do have the same rights that everybody else does to these public spaces.
Now, the woman that you see at the beginning of this clip, Marjolie or something like that, I think that's her name, Marjolie. Notice how she says that she's sending her kids to private school. Now, if you're sending your kids to private school, why are you so worried about what's going on in these public schools? And see, and that's the thing, this is an example of Christianity, of Christians, I should say, sticking their nose in other people's business. Excuse me. I'm like, you're homeschooling your kids. What are you so worried about? And also another thing, this is another example of what Christianity, this is another example of Christians that just don't know what the hell they're talking about. If they even bothered to read anything about, Satanism, they would know that Satanists don't worship the devil at all, nor do they believe in it. We're all basically atheists and agnostics. We don't believe in devils, leprechauns, demons, angels, unicorns, the fucking flying spaghetti monster. It's all fictional. And for some reason, Christians just can't wrap their heads around it. It's like, you believe in an imaginary friend when you were a kid, and then you grow up and you're like, hey, and then you have, these crazy religious folks that think that, there's this all-seeing God, and, he's looking down on us and judging us, and he wants to know what you're doing in the privacy of your bedroom and shit like that. And, it's always funny when I see these things happen, because these Christians don't even realize that they're just being fucked with. The Satanic Temple is literally trolling the hell out of these people. I'm just sitting back enjoying every moment of it, so. And also another thing about, the Satanic Temple, especially when it comes to this after-school Satan program, they're not pushing it in every school out there. You see, they're only doing it in response to Christians who are setting up clubs that do the exact same thing. You see, Christianity, in some schools they have this thing called the Good News Club, which is basically, they teach the Bible. I know some schools also have CCD, which is also another, a Bible study class that's usually held after school. So what this Satanic Temple is doing is they're like, well, if Christians are allowed to, do clubs after school, we want to get on the action too. We want to get started in the fun. Now, what the Satanic Temple does is, they're not actually teaching kids about, Satanism. They're teaching kids about, life and, giving them life skills, teaching them about the beauty of science, teaching them about, how to care for animals. These aren't terrible skills that you do. If anything, these are topics that you want children to learn about. But, if it's about anything positive or teaching anything positive, Christians, or especially these brands of Christians, will always find something to object about. Now, another thing that I want to bring up, and this is, kind of personal to me. This woman is a black Christian. Now, think about it. What sense does it make for a black person to be Christian anyway, But I mean, I'm probably just, injecting my own biases in this, but think about it. What religion was used to justify slavery? Christianity, right? What was the name of the first slave ship that arrived in the United States? The good ship Jesus. And I think Chris Rock said it best in one of his old comedy routines. If you're a black person that's a Christian, you're a black person with no memory at all. As of currently right now, I'm recording this on March 14th. They already had their first meeting, which was on March 8th, and I think they're going to be meeting once a month, all the way up until, I think, the summertime. So, yeah, you got March, April, May, and then June. So, they're complaining about 4 meetings that this church is going to have, or should I say the Satanic Temple is going to have. Which probably isn't even, like I said, isn't even going to affect this woman's children at all. And she's trying to get Christians together to do a prayer circle. I'm not exactly sure what the purpose of that is going to do, because the school district already approved of it. And like I said, they're not teaching kids anything bad. These are all good skills that you want children to learn. But another thing that I want to bring up, and let's just say this situation got a little bit worse. Christians are so angry about the Satanic Temple doing the after-school Satan program that they're now calling and leaving threatening voicemails to the school. Way to show your good Christian love, threatening school officials and threatening, the superintendent and the principal and all that. It makes no sense whatsoever, and yet you expect people to believe that Satanists are the bad people. Let me tell you something. No Satanist would ever call or threaten a school like this. But then again, there's some brands of Christianity out there that basically are willing to go above and beyond, that show no bounds and have no mercy. And it's one of the reasons why I left Christianity, because I was tired of all the hypocrisy. They claim, oh, I'm pro-life, abortion is wrong, but yet they're willing to, bomb abortion clinics and kill doctors. These are the same people that want to bring guns into school and do absolutely nothing about mass shootings or anything like that. But yet you're so fucking pro-life. And that brings up another thing. Children's Hospital. We all heard about what happened in Boston Children's Hospital. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to, do an episode about this because, like I said, I was in a bad situation. But Christians also got mad at Boston's Children's Hospital for the dumbest reason ever. Apparently someone prank called the hospital claiming that, they were, performing surgeries on children that obviously was not happening. And then Christians got upset and started calling in bomb threats to the hospital. If threatening schools and, threatening to bomb hospitals is what Christianity is all about, well, then guess what? I'm glad I'm a Satanist. And honestly, this is just good PR for Satanism right here. I mean, I don't proselytize, Satanists technically don't really proselytize. We just keep our religion really to ourselves, honestly. I don't think I've ever, tried to force Satanism or teach Satanism to anybody, unless they came to me and asked me, a legitimate question. And even so, I just say, hey, if you want, a full in-depth explanation, go on to, the Church of Satan website under the FAQ section. All of your questions will be answered there. And, stories like this prove one thing. When it comes to hypocrisy, Christians are number one in that department. Well, that's pretty much all I got to say about this. You guys stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.